Welcome everyone to Tuesdays with Tim from the channels of Randy 50,000 watts MomoNomo channel.
That's as bright as you can get.
Yeah, that's the highest the rating you can get on the broadcasting license. And then Latter Daily Digest. And then Tim is just a freeloader on our channels, but
yeah,
he provides the living room. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And here's my it's more than one way to Mormon shirt.
Cool.
Advertisement for Sunstone, which will be in July, the last few. And
I got
you
my
go.
podcast host shirt on.
Cool.
Okay.
Tim,
So-
you want to show any article of clothing off?
No, I just have a shirt, I have a flannel shirt on,
like
Oh, nice.
Colby.
like Colby.
Yeah,
And
well,
I now have 3 flannel shirts.
there you go.
Yeah.
So Lisa is joining us. Thanks, Lisa, for joining us. If you have, I don't remember if Lisa has any Mormon memories. I don't remember all the people who chime in. Some people are never Mo's and some people are disaffected. Not anybody, I don't think, is like in the general young women's presidency. I don't think. Was Randy, that's you have to start advertising to the higher ups,
Right? Yeah.
female voices in there.
I'll put some flyers in the parking lot of the chapel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
Let's
So-
do that.
Tim came up with this sort of suggestion of good vibes and good
Good vibes.
memories, and I threw in good Mormon values because there are good Mormon they're good
Yeah,
Christian
there are.
values. There's good.
Who came up with the suggestion for the things we admire about the Mormon church?
That was
You?
Tim.
No,
Tim.
no, it wasn't me. It was Randy.
It was
Oh,
Randy
okay, yeah, I
Rock.
wasn't there. My computer blanked when you guys had that suggestion, so I just assumed it was Tim. So Randy, then it was Randy that did it.
It was Randy's idea.
Explain a little bit, Randy, what you were thinking about when you came up with that idea.
Sure. So here's the thing. Just about every week we have something that we present about the LDS church. Typically, it's got a negative slant to it because most of us are ex-Mo or former LDS. But I thought that to start 2026 off, it might be a pleasant experience to talk about some of the things that kept us in the church as long as they did, some of the things we actually enjoyed about the church, and some of the things that might have helped us along the way. For instance, my dad would have never taken me camping, but I learned to camp and things like that through the church, the Boy Scout program, things like that. I'm just throwing that out as an example, but I have quite a few of them. And, I just thought people might want to chime in on something positive to start the year off. And then we can get negative again next week. But it would be nice to, kind of a change of pace.
Yes. I
Yeah,
totally
so-
agree.
Randy, you mentioned a few things. Tim, are there any early recollections of positive things at church?
Primary was fun.
Primary.
My mother was primary president. Okay. And do you remember the song, There's No Such Thing as a Witch? All these really neat songs that were the children's friend that were fun to sing. And then they got rid of them after I graduated from primary. They did a complete revamp.
It
They throw out
sounded
all
like you
those-
said there's no such thing as a witch.
Yep, that's right. That's right. There's a song called that, and it was in the children's friend.
That is very interesting. Yeah, I don't recall that. I remember doing lots of crafts when I was
Yeah.
young. It seemed like it slowed down. We used to glue cotton balls on paper, and they were clouds. And then
Yep.
I don't know, macaroni sometimes is involved. It's like,
Yeah.
let's give these kids glue and paste and
See what happens.
construction paper and those scissors that could barely cut, but apparently they were safe.
Well, I went ahead and helped myself to the macaroni.
We all did. Come on.
I ate it before it had glue on it.
See, I ate it after it had the glue on it with a little bit of a construction paper.
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think one of my favorite songs was Popcorn Popping on the
Yeah,
Tree.
apricot tree. Yeah. I looked out the window. Yeah.
I think
Right.
I said some of the words wrong when I was younger.
I just want to say about the crafts. One of my, I don't know if you remember any specific ones. I think you mentioned the clouds and the macaroni. I remember two. One was every Thanksgiving we'd put our hand on a piece of construction paper and outline it, and then color the fingers in and make a turkey out of it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
See, we would make
Yeah.
a smoked ham out of mine because I was ham-fisted.
The smoking must have been a bitch.
Let's see, what else was there? When we three experienced, I believe, primary on a different day of the week than
Ours was Wednesday.
Sunday, right?
Right. It was
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Ours was
Well,
Wednesday too.
you had 2 meetings on Sunday. Well, you had 3 meetings on Sunday. If you had 2 meetings before you got the priesthood, but you had priesthood meeting after you were 12. No, I think it's 11. You had priesthood meeting, then you had Sunday school, and then you had sacrament meeting. And then during the week, you had mutual if you were above the age of 12, and you had primary if you were younger than 12.
Seemed like
One of
primary
those.
started around 4 p.m. There were plenty of moms, I guess, that could spend their afternoons preparing for primary and then attending it and being teachers and different things, because it was up to the moms of a board to run the primary.
You know, one thing that I really appreciated about being raised in the church was the fact that it instilled a love of the music in me. I would have
Yes.
never had the guts to sing in front of an audience, but with primary, it was just what you did. And it might have been a little scary, but you know what? They teach kids the music, the songs, and the songs are overall pretty healthy. I know some of them are very indoctrinating, but you know, as kids, I really enjoyed the singing part and got a kick out of that.
Then they had the primary program
Yeah.
where you would read even like a 3-word thing if you were young. And then you weren't really reading it. Somebody was whispering the words into your ear.
Into your ear. And we gave talks. That's where we learned how to give a talk.
Right?
In primary.
Exactly. It instilled that confidence in us to get up and speak.
Well, to me, it instilled that fear of public speaking so that I never, ever wanted to do it as an adult.
There's only one thing that humankind fears more than death itself, and that's public speaking. I'd rather speak publicly than keel over, but that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of one way to get out of public speaking, is to not be alive anymore.
That's true. Tim, is there anything else that you found rewarding being a member of the church?
Boy Scouts was fun.
So we could start with Cubs first, because we're sort of
Cub Scouts
if we go sort of like chronologically.
Yeah, let's go chronologically.
And you know, Cub Scouts, our troops were all Mormon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was a different day than primary even. I think that was Tuesday.
Yeah, that was
Tuesday.
usually at someone's house, I think, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, somebody's house.
Yeah.
Well,
I could never get the like arrows and silver arrows. You get so many silver arrows, you get a gold arrow, or all the different things. All those awards were just went over my head for what they meant. So I got a few things, but it was just because I stumbled into it because the whole class did that award or something.
Right. And we
I
all
grew up
moved
in a
up
very
together.
poor ward.
Really?
And yeah, oh yeah, incredible. It was the poorest ward in the entire city. But we were all poor, so we didn't even care.
It was
you
just
know?
the norm.
It was the norm. The neighborhood we were living in, we were all in the same boat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see, there would be the blue and gold dinner every year.
Oh, with the Cub Scouts?
Green and gold. Green and gold.
Blue and gold for
blue-
Cub Scouts.
That's right. Blue and gold for Cub Scouts. That's right. That's right.
And
That's right.
and the races. What's the races?
Pinewood
Oh,
Derby.
Pinewood Derby.
Pinewood Derby.
Yeah, buddy. I loved that. I also remember about that age, I was introduced to the bazaars.
Right. We had ward bazaars.
Ward bazaars, because that's how the Relief Society earned money.
That's right.
They had to pay for their own programs and books and things.
I had a blast doing that. I remember one year they wanted to get a clown, but I don't know, something happened and they couldn't. So this one sister had a clown outfit and she asked me and my best friend if we would be the clowns.
So you were kind of typecast.
Exactly. I was a clown.
Once a clown, always a clown.
Right?
Oh,
yeah.
Brother. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I loved the fishing exhibit at the bazaar. Yeah, there was always this curtain and you'd throw a fishing hook over there and
you got a prize.
Clip something on there and you'd yank it back and have a prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Lisa or Hallie want to join and talk
You
about
can
anything,
join us.
we could even talk about anything that you enjoyed as a kid too, if you wanted to.
Hallie, do you have the link to come in?
I just put it into both of our channels.
Oh, good. Yeah, come on in, Hallie.
So if you cut and paste that link, or I don't know if that is it clickable. I don't even know.
It should be clickable.
Sometimes it's clickable. And so,
It should be clickable.
what else would we do when we were young? 8, 9, 10. So Webelos, you could have like a overnighter maybe, or a weekend jamboree kind of a thing or something.
Yes. Yeah.
I used to love the overnighters. Yeah.
Yeah.
We along my street, we lived in it was a neighborhood and all the lots were the same size. And back behind the lots was a big vacant dirt field. And so whenever we'd have any activity, we'd try to get a sleepover out of it. And if that was the case, we'd go back in this dark field because it was so dark at night. And we each got a box of matches because there was nothing you could light on fire. But the rule was every minute you had to light a match. And when anyone's match lit, we'd pick up rocks and throw them as hard as we could. We'd pelt them with rocks. I'm not sure how we enjoyed that so much, but that was a kick in the head. That was a good time. If you got hit with the dirt clod, it was a lot better because it just.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. But
there was also like ward outings. Like we had picnics in the summertime.
Yeah.
And it seemed like every 3 or 4 months we would do either the local pool, we'd have a pool night, swimming, or
watermelon,
not ice game, but roller derby, roller rink.
Roller rink.
Yeah.
Good.
What other things would the wards do as a like a ward family. Sometimes we'd have a movie night.
We used to
Swimming was
have,
big for our ward, and there would
big-
always be a truck of watermelons that would come in, and we'd just swim and eat the hell out of that watermelon.
we had ward picnics. I remember ward picnics on a Saturday, usually Saturday afternoon.
And I
Yeah, Mike-
remember how nice the people,
Yeah.
the members were to one another.
Very nice.
How kind they were, and if you showed up and you didn't have something to eat, people would make sure you had it, and
Yeah.
it was a real camaraderie back then. I don't know about now.
And I remember we would play some sort of like stickball. Like we didn't have an official backstop or whatever, but we somehow lined up where we did a soft toss, softball or something like that. And my dad had a Super 8 camera, and we took some videos of the little game going on. And one of our videos features a future Olympian in it.
Really?
Really?
Guy that ran the 5,000 meter race in the LA Olympics.
Wow.
So
I should know that because I run so many triathlons and marathons, and I should know him. Except I should mention that the triathlons that I do, I only run about the length of my driveway. Same with the marathons.
Okay.
So
and we also would have like a picnic, a steak picnic in the summer. And I don't think I tied it to like the Pioneer Day, this is the place, this is the right place kind of
Right.
thing.
That's right.
Until I was
That's
like
right.
in my 20s or 30s. It's like, oh, that's why the steak had the big
Yeah, that's
picnic.
right.
Because it was
Yeah.
Pioneer Day. I mean, in
Pioneer
Utah,
Day.
everybody knew it was Pioneer Day. They had fireworks, and it was bigger than 4th of July, I think, in Utah.
But us guys in California didn't know what it was about.
we didn't, I don't remember us doing a whole lot in Arizona for Pioneer Day, but I know it was recognized.
Yes, boys did have more activities than girls.
Yeah, I
that's
was
true.
thinking that too. So
Because girls were supposed to be homemakers and guys were supposed to be
songs, remember
adventurous.
a movie night on Friday with homemade root beer and
Yes.
popcorn. I remember homemade root beer a
Yeah,
lot.
we had movie night. Yeah, we had word movie night. Yeah, Friday night. Yeah.
Translate that, Randy, for us.
Bienvenido de Chile. He's from Chile, or she.
Hi,
I don't
Chile.
know.
It's like
Hi,
soy
Chile.
means I am from Chile.
Soy. Yeah, I am they from Chile.
Uh-huh.
Chile.
Cool. Cool.
So
Hi,
welcome
Chile. Welcome,
from
Chile.
Chile.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
Santiago, Chile. That's what I'm guessing from the
Is
name.
that the only town you know in Chile?
It's the name of our guest. And I guess there was a saint named Iago or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
There's
right. It's right in the name.
Concepcion. There's where the whalers
Allende,
would go.
Chile.
Valparaiso.
There you go, Lisa. Made a killer
Dang,
derby
Lisa.
car. Her
All
brother
right.
won.
Your brother won with it. You made it, but he won with it.
That's hilarious.
That's not good, man. Yeah, your mom was the den mother. Yeah, my mom was the den mother and a primary president, I think.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about what Hallie Cram says, dumb activities like learning how to crochet.
Crochet.
I'm so sorry because that seems like the most boring thing a group could ever do.
So I'll tell you, I broke my wrist when I was 10, and I had to get a cast on. It's actually just like barely a fracture. The doctor said, well, if you probably just didn't do anything for 10 days, we wouldn't have to put a cast on. But this is modern medicine, and we're going to, go all the way. And so I got a cast on for like 8 weeks, but I could manipulate because of the way they make the cast. I can manipulate my fingers. And so my mom said, well, since you can't play sports, I'll teach you how to croquet. And I made some long green
Croquet.
like crochet. crochet. I made a long green scarf.
Wow.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
It probably would be in my museum, someday, but it's gone.
Right.
Didn't last.
Well,
Hans knows Espanol.
Hola, soy Virginia. Bienvenido a nuestro chat.
Here's
Nice songs.
Trying on wedding dresses. Yeah, why didn't the men try on tuxedos as like 14-year-olds? Or why did they have us try on baker's hats?
No kidding.
That was
Right?
later on.
Pass out some aprons and
Pass out some aprons and
that's funny.
and then we had road shows.
Right.
Road shows.
We had road
were
shows and dance festivals. Was
Dance
there one other
festivals.
thing?
Yeah, dance fest and a
Road shows
singing
and dance
festival.
festivals for sure.
And
Well, I know that there were sports, obviously, the
right in sports.
basketball teams and
Yeah,
softball teams.
we had a baseball diamond behind the temple. The ward I grew up in was in the LA Temple, and the chapel was at the north end, and the temple's at the south end. And we had a big field. We had a baseball diamond. We used to play softball there.
You
Girls
know,
had
I
rugby. Yeah.
I used to love the fathers and sons outing.
Outings.
Did you ever go on those?
Yeah.
Here's my experience as a young adult fathers and sons outing. I was married just long enough to have 3 kids, and my youngest kid was my son Andrew, and he was just the sweetest, most precious thing you'd ever meet. Although he did have a little bit of a problem with wetting the bed. So we went up north in Arizona where it was pretty cold up in the woods. And we slept in the back of my little pickup truck. I had a little camper on it. And there was me, my son Randy, and my son Andrew. Garrett was just a little bit too young still to go. But 3 of us, it was cramped with 3 of us because it was a little pickup truck. But it was probably, I don't know, 2 a.m. I was sleeping so soundly with the cold outside and the sleeping bags inside. And I moved a little bit to adjust, and I felt ice cold. And I was like, it took me a minute to realize that my sleeping bag, with whom I shared with my son, was soaking wet. And
Oh.
so we all had to get out of the truck. Everyone else was asleep, and I pulled this sleeping bag out, and there was just a blanket left. And so I hung the sleeping bag over the truck, and we all laid down again. And I'll be damned if my other son didn't wet the bed on the blanket. So we all had to get up again, pull that out, and we had nothing else to lay on. It was freezing cold. So we ended up all getting in the front of the truck and I turned the heater on, and we had to sleep out the last few hours with the vehicle running.
So
Oh
how
my
about
gosh.
values? What values did you have as a 10-year-old that set you apart from other 10-year-olds? Of course, Randy lived, I don't know, what was your school like, half Mormon or a third Mormon or a fourth Mormon?
Oh, at the very, yeah, it was at least half Mormon. I'd say, yeah, about right. So, I mean, we were all doing the same thing.
Tim and I
Wow.
we probably were like 4 or 5 Mormons for every 200 or 300 kids, right?
Yeah, that's about right.
And so
Wow.
what set you apart as a Mormon boy versus other boys in school?
Not much.
You didn't say the F word until you're at least in 7th grade. So
I
that set
learned
you
how to do
apart
the
from the 5th graders.
well, I used it earlier than that, but okay. I learned it earlier than that. And I learned how to do the finger thing earlier than that.
Were you afraid to say a lie to your teachers or the principal
Yes.
or adults or anything like that?
Yeah.
Were you more afraid because of God or because of Santa?
Because of my parents.
More afraid of your parents, right? If they
Yeah.
had heard anything.
Right. Yeah. I think I was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there were some values that we learned, right?
Yeah.
About not cussing, sort of.
Not cussing.
I mean, I remember having explained to me when I was in a priest about how it shows a little bit more intelligence to be able to use words other than cuss words. It shows some restraint. It shows some dignity, right? The
Right.
values of not
Right.
stooping to using bad language.
Yeah.
Well,
And how about,
they didn't teach us that.
yeah, they missed it. And how about drugs? Was drugs prevalent, Tim, in your neighborhood, or were you a dealer?
No. My friend Dennis, okay, we had, you know where they used to put the garbage can? They had a walled up area where they put the trash can. He used to go in there and smoke pot, drink mutual.
Nice.
There were 2 or 3 kids that were doing pot and other stuff that I knew about.
Definitely drugs in California were around and available. I remember in middle school seeing little bags of marijuana. What was a dime bag, Tim?
A dime bag was about 2 fingers.
That $10. I think they called it a dime bag because that was $10 worth of
$10. It
marijuana.
was 2 fingers. We had a guy that would come to school. He had joints in a cassette case. He kept them in a cassette case. He'd walk by and sell them for $1, going through the campus. Yeah, for $1.
That's a pretty good price.
That's a really good price. Yeah. I remember I bought one.
So I remember when we were doing dance festival, my friend and I would tell a lot of jokes, and we kind of like, we could have been like a radio DJ team doing jokes and stuff back and forth, and we had a lot of fun with it. And some guy, I remember saying, I don't know why kids our age would do drugs when all they have to do is hang around you guys. That was a pretty good compliment.
That's pretty good.
I thought.
You know, I had a calling as the stake dance. It was a friend of mine in high school and we were seniors, and we were called to be the stake dance representatives to teach all of our stake the dance that we were doing. And I don't know if you guys remember the dance that you guys did.
Yeah, I do.
But ours was Do the hustle. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
So we did.
So
There
we
was
did
that.
that.
There was car wash, a car wash song where they did it in a group, and then there was
Yeah.
square dancing
Yeah.
was part of it,
Where they wanted to get the guys and the girls together for mutual, did square dancing.
and then there was
Oh, how about Teen Elect?
What?
Did you guys have Teen Elect?
No.
Oh, I loved that. It was, maybe it was just our stake. I don't know, but it was called Teen Elect. And you would show up, it was a stake thing. And we'd show up at one of the cultural halls and they would teach us manners, how to treat a lady, how to get her into the car and out of the car properly,
Yes. Yes.
how to dance, how to close dance, and
We didn't call it that though, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
it was
so you're saying like
amazing.
teen elect, like
Yeah,
like a choice in an elect generation,
yeah.
or like
Teen Elect. And
what's her name? Joseph Smith's wife was an elect lady,
Right.
Emma. I thought there was a girl there that I had a crush on. She was from a different ward, and we looked forward to seeing each other, and we'd always dance together. But then that time came where it was over, and I never found her again. So, I was a
Yeah.
little crushed.
I had a girlfriend, my second girlfriend at church, and she broke up with me because she knew was going to go on a mission. It's like,
Isn't
no
it usually
fun.
the other way around?
Yeah, they'd wait for you, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't go out with you if you're not going to go on a mission.
Right. Right. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
So I remember being instructed to, like, before somebody offers you a cigarette or something, to already make that decision, so you didn't have
Right.
to wait.
Right. So you
So
could say no.
so if you thought ahead of time that you were, and I kind of
Yeah, but
raised it.
I tried cigarettes before that age. I was like 8 or 9 when my friend Jerry stole his parents' cigarettes, and we went up. They were building. Hi,
Rio.
Rio.
Hello.
And we went and smoked. They were building the 10 freeway then, and we went up on the freeway and we smoked cigarettes, and I was coughing like mad, and I was, why do people do this crap?
Was that before or after your joint?
That was long before.
Oh,
That was like 7 or 8 years before. I was 9 or 10 when we did that.
we rolled up paper, like copy paper or newspaper, and we'd light it and try to smoke it. And we
And we
coughed.
had all
a little,
kinds
and
of
that's about it.
childhood, like candy cigarettes and
Yeah.
candy 7 deadly sins. I'll just say, like, kids version of whatever is bad.
Alcohol.
Well,
Cigarettes.
Kim Dean, nice to see you.
Yes, it's nice to be here.
Did you have some good Mormon values or memories that you wanted to share with us?
Oh my goodness, when you were talking about the swearing, that was one of the first ones, because I was pretty much taught that intelligence thing. It's not that I'm more intelligent than anybody, but I'm smart enough to use better words. Does that make sense?
Right.
And even now, if I use the F word, if I swear and stuff, people tell me not to because it just sounds wrong coming out of my mouth. And so it's just, I'm that person where it just sounds wrong.
I don't know.
So I don't swear that much. So
sometimes for me, it's the only word that fits.
That's right.
I'm learning
the
that.
chosen word. Yeah.
That's right.
And then we did, I lived in Denver. I was in the Marston Lake Ward. And I think I was 12. I was just out of primary. I was just in Young Women's, and we took 9 Greyhound buses of youth and went to Chicago, and we went to all the beginnings of the church. We were in Carthage jail. We went to Mark Twain caves. We were at Liberty. We were at Adamonde Amen. We were all of it. I mean, we did everything. And let me tell you, the worst thing anybody really did, at least on our bus, was we chewed gum.
That's what they got
That's-
after you for.
That's wild and crazy, Rio.
And most of us couldn't chew gum at home. Our parents didn't allow it. So like the thrill was we were chewing gum.
I couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. Sometimes I was kind of clumsy.
Yeah,
I
he'd,
guess.
he'd have to walk a few steps, stop and chew his gum. And
Yeah.
walk a few steps and stop and chew his gum. He couldn't get anywhere very fast.
Yeah. And I think Kim was having some internet issues because she froze for a little bit, and then somehow StreamYard kicked her out. So hopefully she comes back if she
Come
wants
back.
to us. And one thing I'll say is that when we were making these decisions ahead of time before somebody offers you a cigarette or a drink, I remember phrasing it like this in my mind, that once I took a drink, then I was never free to not be a drinker anymore. I mean, I was never free. So my free agency, as long as I didn't have a drink, I was always free to take my first drink. But once I took my first drink, I could never go back to drink virginity or whatever I was thinking in my mind. So I couched it in the agency, the free agency mode.
My dad drank coffee and beer. He wasn't very active my whole life. And I'll never forget, he says, "You want to try some coffee?" And me and my sister, Nancy, we tried some coffee. Ooh, this tastes horrible. "You want to try a beer?" So we tried some. I said, "Ooh, this tastes awful. I don't like it."
My dad joined after the divorce. So my mom and stepdad, and I lived with smokers and drinkers. And when I lived with my dad, they would mail me presents, and my stepmom, and they would always make comments about all my gifts smelled like smoke because they would wrap them while they were smoking.
Oh, geez.
And so I had that. It's like I had better values than my other family, which was weird because I didn't. They just smoked and drank. It was, but they were demonized. Yeah.
Right. Because
It's
they smoked and drank.
unfortunate when you think about having a mixed faith family.
Well, I had an aunt that smoked and drank, and she was my aunt. My Aunt Rhoda, didn't.
We did put
I
pins
never
in my
worried
mom's
about that.
cigarettes. We put needles in them.
Dang.
Yeah, that's mean. That's
Yeah.
mean.
So
Thank goodness for the 80s when I could just go to the store and get them on her tab. So, that was a better thing.
Song said they had multi-stake youth conference, and I think I remember my older children experiencing those, and some of the people in between. Our stake took 4 buses every year or every other year. I wasn't sure exactly. Every year for like 5 or 6 years, and we went to BYU and had a youth conference there.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
And so
I remember that. Yes.
So on one of those trips, I lost my kissing virginity.
That's the place to do it, though. Good job.
Yeah. And so I kissed Shirley Warren. It's more like, it was midnight because we'd leave at like 4 p.m. and drive all through the night and get to BYU by 7 in the morning or something. And we were supposed to get as much sleep as we could, on the bus. But we were, for the first 5 or 6 hours, we're singing, and then everybody's trying to say, everybody quiet, everybody go to sleep or whatever. And I was sitting next to this girl, and our hands touched, and then our hands held each other.
Oh, no.
And we slipped closer to each other, and then our cheeks touched, and then we started kissing. And then she did something with her tongue, it kind of waggled, and I was kind of
Ooh.
shocked because I didn't know. I guess that's kissing. I don't know. And then the rest of the week, I didn't talk to her.
Oh, no.
Are you
Oh,
kidding?
wow.
I don't know if I was embarrassed or ashamed, but in high school, we were kind of like, you know, friendly, like we're in a friend zone, right? And the bus sort of changed the dynamics, where I kind of didn't want that dynamic. I didn't want her to be my girlfriend or anything like that. Now, I probably would just say, hey, that was awesome. We got to kiss. Let's just enjoy this week. I would talk about it, right? But as a kid, I just like ghosted her. I didn't have no idea what to do, right?
We were doing the road show, this girl and I, Raona, and we were back behind the curtains making out, and somebody caught us.
Whoops. Tell them you're
Never-
practicing a scene.
We had the best shows in different programs.
Yes,
You know,
we did.
We had a youth program where we went to Hawaii. We all went in and we went up on the stage, and it was all set up like a plane.
Wow.
And then when you got off the stage, you
right.
knew you were getting lays, but you never got off because the plane crashed. You were assigned to
Right.
your kingdoms.
Right.
And
I
so
remember that.
we got to really learn things in a really, but it was like you said about values. It was being able to think about things in a value oriented way.
Yes.
And I don't think they do as much of it now. I just, you don't even have to do scripture mastery. What's up with that? That is just wrong.
No.
I did seminary via home study.
Oh,
I
wow.
Okay.
correspondence coursed mine.
So Tim and
Wow.
I had to wake up early, right, Tim?
Yes, we did.
Randy,
My
did you have
senior year.
release time seminary?
No, our
You got to
seminary
work-
was right there at the high school.
Yeah, that's what release time is.
Oh, yeah, then we did.
Yeah. So you had a seminary building right next to the campus or something.
Yep.
No, the
And
church
so-
was 40 minutes away. They sent me a binder, and then every week I would mail Salt Lake my seminary packet, and I would get my new packets. And I
Wow.
did seminary via
Wow.
correspondence course.
Boyd
I
K.
did-
Packer might have graded your papers.
Wow.
I'm not sure. I don't know, but that's how I did
Wow.
seminary.
I remember I had to pick at this girl. She wasn't in the ward boundaries, but she was friends with somebody in the ward. I had to go way over and pick her up, leave early from my house, pick her up, and then I had to leave 15 minutes early to get to my high school because I went to a different high school than everybody else. Oh, man.
I was
Crazy.
only member in my entire town of 1,200. So it
Wow.
wasn't just, I was it. The Lutheran
You were
Church had
one
a
in
little
1,200.
pamphlet, how to save Mormons from hell. And I didn't dare touch the pamphlet, but after about 6 months, I didn't even tell people. I didn't want anybody to know. It was scary. And then my family was sending me letters saying how, look at what Joseph Smith did at 14. And I kept going, but I'm a girl and I don't have the priesthood. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, that Joseph Smith seeing God and Jesus in his 15th year set a high bar for us kids.
I know. It was like,
Tim was
dang.
probably like 17 or 18 before he saw Jesus and God.
I remember breaking my arm, and at the doctor's office, they had to give me some kind of shot. I don't remember what it was. And I was thinking, should I refuse this? Should I refuse any pain medication like Joseph Smith did? But my mom and dad said, nope, take any medication you can get.
So you said, okay, I'll have the whiskey.
I
don't remember.
made it to the ER at least once a year for a while. I do something stupid and end up in the ER at Santa Monica Hospital.
You know, we had one of those youth conferences, Tim, that
Yes.
it was at Dixie College in Idaho,
Okay.
which is now BYU, Idaho, right?
Y-
Right?
You mean Rick's College?
Rick's College, yeah.
Yeah, BYU Idaho. Yeah, that's what they
Okay.
call it now.
So anyway, we did the same thing, man. We stayed up all night trying to sneak into the girls' rooms,
Oh,
we weren't, we weren't going to go in and ravage them. We just wanted to go in and have fun, go in and chat and play and laugh, and they'd catch us and throw us back in our room, but we'd always make it back into their room. Well, on the way back, I was so completely exhausted, where you're completely sleep deprived. It kind of shuts your brain down.
yeah.
And we were on the bus going home, and I was sitting next to a girl. I was going to say her name, but I don't think I will now. But the best I can figure is I fell asleep on her shoulder, and I think my head was resting on her boobs or something. It was whatever it was.
Oh
It was
no.
comfortable, right? And I was sound asleep. And when we got off the bus, my best friend, who was sitting a couple of rows back, he's walking up to me with a huge smile on his face. He's like, "Dude, what the hell, dude?" I'm like, "What? What?" He says, "You and Liella." Oh,
Oh, you said her name.
gosh darn it. Anyway, I said, "What?" And he said, "You guys were like making out, kissing all the way home." I said, "Shut up." No, I wasn't. He said,
I
"Well,
played-
she was kissing on you if you didn't know it." I'm thinking, I didn't even know. What a waste. I never knew.
We had temple trips,
Really?
of course, and the
Yes.
closest temple to Denver was Mesa, Arizona. And so my first trip, I played
Wha-
footsie with the deacon that I had a little crush on, and then I was trying to decide if I needed to confess and if I was worthy to go do the baptisms because I played footsie in the car. I didn't tell
When I-
anybody, and I did my baptisms.
When I lived in Colorado Springs, Manti was the temple for Colorado. That's interesting.
Wow. They would
See,
come from all over the place to Mesa.
Yeah.
From
Oh, wow.
Mexico. They'd have buses in from Mexico to go to the
Wow.
Mesa temple. And they'd put
Oh,
them
it's
up in
beautiful. Loved
this
it.
Tri-State Center, which was a big sports center for multi-purpose uses that the church had. It was like a huge, giant cultural hall. There was like, I think 5 or 6 basketball
Yep.
courts all moving across, and
You'd sleep there.
they
sleeping
would sleep
bags.
there. Yeah,
Right.
these Mexican people would bring sleeping bags and blankets, and they would just lay down on the floor and sleep in this Tri-State Center, until they could get to the temple. And I thought, man, that's faithfulness.
Wow. Yeah. Remember the buses going to the LA temple on the weekends. coming up.
Tri-State as in STAKE, Peter,
Right.
not STEAK.
Oh, Peter, I looked that dance up you were talking about. Looks interesting. So you
Oh,
was
the
talking
nut
about
bush.
yeah, nut bush.
This tri-stake thing, do you remember like talking Mormon talk, Tim, around the non-Mormons, and you have to explain all the different words?
Yes.
Like what a ward is, what a stake
What
is,
a wood is, what a stake. Yeah, I remember
all
that.
the different things.
Yeah. The thing I remember about going to the youth conference at BYU was a boy named Sue who just come out on the radio. And they played that almost all the way there. Must heard it 20 or 30 times driving there and driving back. I'll never
My
forget
daddy
that
left
thing.
home when I was 3. Didn't leave much on me but this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. I loved that song.
Oh,
That's
it's
a
one of
great
my
song.
favorites. It's a great song. It's a great song.
We had the young adults put on a haunted house in our old Mesa
Yeah,
Third
we
Ward.
did that. We put
The-
on, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm telling you about. And I was like, okay, that's not going to scare me, because you had to go up behind the stage, and they had it where you'd walk around behind the dark stage. And I felt pretty tough. I would not ever manifest my fear until I got to that one of the last things, and it was actually it was my brother-in-law who's now passed away, but at the time he wasn't my brother-in-law. He was laying on a surgical table, and they had a hole in the table so his one leg could go down through it, and they had a big cow bone with some of the meat still on it
Oh no.
from his knee, and it looked just like he was laying there with a bloody bone for a leg. I lost it, man. I was out of there. I didn't look for the exit. I went straight through the curtains,
We
jumped off the stage. I was out of there.
we made one where a friend of mine was lying down, and you couldn't see his stomach was like macaroni and ketchup and stuff, and then there were fake legs, and his body went down, and I was playing. I was scaring the kids at Mutual. And then we had a guy whose father worked, well, a lot of people in the movie industry, and he got these costumes that they use on Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and Lost in Space. We dressed up in these costumes and stuff, and we scared people. It was fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
People in your ward, huh?
Yeah. We had a lot of we had actors and actresses in my ward. And, I mean, that's a story. But, yeah. When I had my mission farewell, okay, John Banner and Werner Klempner were both there. They're both Jewish, but they go to Mormon church. And they both gave me $100 at my farewell. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Like $1,000 bill now.
Yeah. Yeah.
No kidding.
And did you pay tithing on it?
I don't remember. I don't
I
remember.
think there's a rule in there that as long as it's green paper currency, you don't have to pay tithe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah,
count.
no, not in my world. But I was also the weird one that didn't tip more than 10% because I wasn't giving a human being more than I gave God. So I'm a big tipper now. I've changed and mended my ways.
Right.
But
I
I was that. Yeah.
I never paid a full tithing. All the years I was in the church. I left my wife, my ex-wife might have, but I never did.
Tim, what's it going to take to get you to make all that up and pay that tithing to the church? Because I'll deliver it
Let's see.
for you.
An apology?
I was excommunicated for living with a boyfriend I later married. And of course, when we got married, I was able to get baptized again. And he was active Catholic. And so I got permission from the stake president not to pay tithing because he was in charge of the finances and he paid a tithing at the Catholic Church. So
Wow.
it's weird when
that's weird.
It's like,
wow.
I never thought of it as being special treatment until way later. Now it's like, whoa, why'd they let that happen? Well, what control did I have? I'm the girl,
Right. Right.
I think that the church used to get away with a lot more, being a little lax on the safety rules because
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One thing I loved about being a youth in the church and Boy Scouts was the annual scout camp.
Right.
Where we would go, for, I can't remember if it was a week, maybe.
Yeah, it was a week in the summer.
Yeah. And it was held up at Mogollon Rim in Arizona, where the Mogollon Monster or Bigfoot is supposedly, one of the originating spots of the Arizona one. And none of us believed it at first. But man, they kept giving us this compelling evidence. And they told us all about this, it was all in the woods up in the mountains. They told us about this area where all the trees were just tipped over, snapped off at the base. It was called Turtle Creek. And they said that, it's not sod and there's no men that have that kind of strength. So this is where he hung out with this Mogollon Monster. They had footprints and all that. Well, part of scout camp is we go on a cat eye trail. You know what those are? Where you take your flashlight and they tack up little reflectors all
Right.
throughout the woods.
Right.
And
Yes.
to get to the next place, you have to shine your flashlight until you see the reflector.
Right. Right.
Well, all I can figure is some scout troop being smart asses
Took them down.
took just one is all it takes. But I don't know how many were missing, but took one down. And that was about in the middle of because you're doing this in the middle of the night. And I was the scout leader. And so I had to be in charge. And I said, okay, guys, look, we don't know. We can't find the next reflector. See if you can see any as we travel. And I remember that they said, go downhill if you ever get lost, because the camp is down at the base of the mountain. So we started trekking along, and all of a sudden we stopped seeing trees. And here's this big area. And I'll be danged if it didn't say Turtle Creek. And all the
Wow.
trees were snapped off at the base.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, oh crap, is this for real? It was scary. And all the scouts were waiting on me to make a decision. I was their age. I didn't know anymore. I was as dumb as they were.
And was your
So-
sleeping bag cold again?
No, but we were just up there without anything, basically, and except our flashlights, get knives and stuff. And I'll tell you what, that was a long, long hike, because I said, guys, we just need to go downhill. So we're fighting our way through the woods. As long as we're going downhill, we're okay. Fortunately, off in the distance, we could hear some, like voices and stuff. And it was another scout troop that was heading up with their flashlights to go on the cat eye trail. So we ran over to them so we could find the trail, and then we went on back to the camp. I remember one of my scout buddies said, should we tell him about the missing reflector? I said, no. No. They
There
can
you go.
find their way back down the hill.
That's mean.
See now, Randy, if since this show's about good Mormon values, what you should have said was we were lost, and so you prayed as a leader of the group, and you got inspiration to go down a certain path, and it led you back to where you're supposed to be. But
No, I think
that
we
didn't
skipped
happen.
that part.
That's right. So let's see. So I'll say that Mormonism, maybe I was afraid of girls, kept me from being a young father out of wedlock.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about
That
that?
it did. That
You know,
it did.
I took care of myself, the way nature calls.
Yes.
But I never.
It
It
matters
wasn't
in your own
healthy.
hands.
It wasn't healthy. Right? It was like I still was ashamed and embarrassed by it. Right?
Yeah. There
It
were
should have
some
been
things
like-
that happened.
Good job.
Yeah.
It kept you from impregnating somebody. Right?
Yeah.
Should have been
Yeah.
a badge of honor, and they should have had lessons on how to
Right.
do it better and how to do it in the privacy of your own home or room or bathroom or whatever. But
Pass out a little
yeah.
KY jelly and scouts and explain.
instead it was almost the sin next to murder, right? It was almost like that. I never felt, because sex was it. If I had sex, I was going to hell, right? If I was not.
Yeah.
married.
And how many times, Gene, did we get that close? We did everything but, right?
So yeah, it wasn't a lot of times, but there was at least 2 times that I came close, and one was at a girl's house where her parents were just down the hall, and we were on the sofa making out, and she rolls off the couch and I roll on top of her, and we're watching Johnny Carson's show, and
Oh, it was late.
it was like 2 minutes before midnight. And my eyes were wide open. It was like, first of all, what is it? The Holy Ghost is going to be
Goes to
gone.
bed
and
at midnight.
Satan will be there as soon as midnight strikes. Second of all, your freaking parents are down the hall, and I'm not ready to get caught. Right. And third of all, I don't even know what to do. Right. So I just said, it's time for me to go. Right. So that, I don't know if that's, like I say, Mormon values or just being afraid of girls or what, but that was a very close call, we'll say.
I could say more, but I'll wait till the after show. But
I got mixed messages because when I was
Yes.
inactive as a youth, I experimented with alcohol and would go a little too far with boys, but coffee would take me straight to hell. Oh my God, I would not
Oh, yeah.
touch coffee.
yes,
And it just, I got a little bit of a warped message. And, later when I did drink coffee as an adult, I ended up in the church's 12-step program to keep my temple recommend. So I
Wow.
did a 12-step program for drinking coffee.
Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Should have
That's
just stuck
crazy.
with the drinking,
Yeah,
And I always hated that guys that were sexual conquistadors were called studs, but the
Right.
girls were called sluts.
that's
like-
right. That's right.
These girls should be heroes.
Exactly.
They were stress
Sacrificing
relievers.
themselves to these studs. They should have a better name than stud, right? And so, and I also hated in movies where women were treated like property by their boyfriends or husbands and stuff like that. So I was kind of a mama's boy in that regard. So I was sort of a budding feminist, we'll say.
I'm proud of you, Gene.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy. Anyone out there in the listening audience who wants to share any experiences? Come on in.
The water's fine.
Come on in.
They're not
Right.
the waters of baptism. It's different water. It's like hot tub water.
It's even less scary than bearing your testimony on Sunday.
Yeah, there were some things. Oh my
I have never heard it until recently called open mic. That it's an open mic night or experience, and I can't get that out of my head because I'm one of those that I love sharing my testimony. I felt very strongly, and oh man, yeah, it's open mic.
So one thing I don't know if I just sort of glanced over is that we had an Oakland Temple pageant around here. So on years that we didn't do the dance festival, we would do the pageant. And there was I don't know, I think they said 500 person balcony chorus that was staffed by first it's like 3 or 4 stakes. And then
Like an
became-
Easter pageant?
Yeah, like the Easter pageant, right?
I mean,
But
is that
this
what you're
was-
talking about? An Easter?
Yeah, so they ran through the church history. They advertise it all through the Bay Area. They passed out tickets, even though you didn't really need tickets. And it was a big event. And then they started changing things up. And then the church history department said, we just can't do that anymore. We were doing things that had, Mormon, what do you call it? Mythology, like the seagulls
Oh,
Yeah.
as part of the faith, right? And so probably when it came out that seagulls just were being seagulls, and they're all over the place, and they every now and then the crickets population expands rapidly, and the seagulls come in, and of course seagulls regurgitate the the exoskeleton of a cricket because their body, they can't digest that, so they regurgitate it. It's not like the faithful story is like, oh, look how good they are, they're regurgitating them so that they can eat more because God's blessing us, right? It's just the way ornithology goes, right? just science. So anyway, so they canceled the Oakland Temple pageant about 9-10 years ago,
Wow.
and everybody was wondering why. And then they canceled more and more and more.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're still going to do the Easter thing, right, Randy, in Mesa? I don't remember for sure.
Not sure, but I remember as a kid, it was a whole different ball game back then. We'd
I
get up.
remember.
I don't remember a couple of them because I was so young, but we'd get up really early in the morning while it was still dark, and we'd go to the Mesa Temple grounds, and there were all kinds of people there, and we'd lay our blankets out, and we'd sit on the blanket, and we'd watch this pageant, and then about the time that Christ presented himself is when the sunrise, started to come up, and it was really an effective program. But one of the neatest things is the guy that was what they did is they had a guy dressed as Christ and with the white robes and everything, and they put him in the bucket of one of these cherry pickers that goes way up in the air that the telephone company uses, and they had a black blanket draped over the bucket part, and so they had a white drape over the bucket part, so it just looked like the continuation of Jesus' robe. But when he rose up in the air, it was so cool because it looked just like, Christ up in the air, and you'd hear the brakes come on and on Main Street in Mesa where the temple was, because they'd see this Christ rising up from the temple.
Freaking out.
They're probably thinking, "Ah, crap, the Mormons were right."
I just remember a few times a choir at the LA Temple, and that's about all growing up. It didn't do much.
Now it's just a big, it's in the evening now, and you have to have tickets, and in order for members to go, they have to have an investigator with them. And yeah, a lot funner back when it was just kind of a la natural.
So we all tried to raise our children in the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we had our callings.
Yeah.
And so sometimes there was, good things, and sometimes there were bad things. But the good things was when, preparing for lessons or that you had to give, or being in charge of some people, even if they were young people, or in elders quorum, if you're doing the elders quorum thing, give you some organizational skills, some leadership skills, right? But I noticed that, once the church stopped doing bazaars,
right,
and then we used to have ward dinners where they would be cooking all kinds of stuff in the kitchen.
right,
And they said, "Oh, you can't cook anymore."
right.
Yeah, what is that?
And then they would say you can't have the roller rinking nights, or you can't do ward activities on Monday nights, first of all. And if you can't do elaborate ward activities, because it would make either the poor in your ward not want to participate if there was any fees involved. And in my opinion, those were just for the rich stakes and wards that would do like an outing to Hawaii, some elaborate thing. But you have to, if you tell one person, you have to tell everybody not to do stuff, right? So even though it was just the elaborate things they were trying to get rid of, it really dampened everything, and the activity rate, went down for things that they would do. I know that my children had less opportunities for doing things than I did. But one thing that happened in our stake, and I have a hat to prove it, is so a bridge to eternity. It was like sort of like a all Bay Area wide stake Boy Scout thing that women could come to as well.
Oh, wow.
And to say what year it is?
1994.
1994. How many years ago was that, Randy?
1,000.
32 years ago.
Yep.
And it was a fun event. They had people hooked up to wires, and tent at a 30-foot high tree, and then you'd say belay, unbelay, and they would, and you'd like fall down, and they had people with the ropes that would let you fall like halfway, and then they would tighten it up so that you landed softly. And it was kind of a scary thing. Some people would go all the way up to the top of the tree, and they'd get all hooked up, and they'd say, no, I'm not going to do this thing.
You got to be trusting.
Yeah, you have to be trusting. So yeah, because you like fall off, and they have a picture. They took a picture of me like falling, free falling. So that proves I did it, right? And so there were some fun things. My oldest son that was able to participate didn't really want to do any of the fancy things. And so anyway, but it was like, I think I was there maybe as like a leader / I don't know, but I got to do things. And so it was like the last splash of the stake, the region trying to do something, it seemed like. And I don't know if they did anything like that since or not.
We had a youth conference at Pomona College, and the rich kids from the Brentwood Ward came in, and they cut the cords on all the blinds in the rooms. They came through and destroyed all this stuff, and I couldn't believe it. Told my brother Tanner what was going on, and they tried to stop them, but they were just destroying all this property. It's really sad. Yeah.
Those little peckers, really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, my sister's friend Barbara one of them was her boyfriend, and he got in trouble. And then I found out later on he went on a mission to Ireland, and he got to fly an airplane while he was on his mission. He was just a rich prick and was so privileged. These guys, man, he just pissed me off. They come in and destroy property, and the church has to pay for it. And,
yeah, that's too bad. What is the AE, by the way?
The what?
Songs is talking about, we did encampments. The AT runs through the area. What is AT?
What is AT songs?
Like
all-terrain vehicles?
It says the AT runs through the area. Like it's
Appalachian Trail.
Oh,
The
Appalachian.
Appalachian Trail. All right. I've always wanted to hike that. Yeah. We were supposed to say happy birthday to somebody back here. Did you see that?
Oh, well, yeah. Hey, listen, happy birthday. We are excited. This is your celebration of birth. So happy birthday.
Whoever
Whoever it is that needs happy birthday.
Now, one of
happy
my
birthday.
brothers had a very interesting.
Nick Glure. Sorry, Nick Glure. Happy
Nick Glure?
birthday. Yeah, whoever that is.
He
Okay.
had a real
Happy birthday, Nick.
interesting
Yeah.
experience as a teenager. I think he was 12. My brother was on a mission in England, and my youngest brother was able to go fly to England and be his companion his last 2 weeks and bring him home.
Wow.
Oh,
What
wow.
kind of special stuff and mojo do you got to have that happen?
No kidding.
Wow. That's
And
wild.
so I never understood any of the rules or anything, because it's like they never seem to apply to anybody in my family. It's just really weird. And we were never like big name or big, but for some reason we've had some of the most spiritual, amazing experiences like that
Right.
most people would never have.
Right.
And I've got a nephew in Tonga right now, and reading his emails, I just sit here and I'm amazed at, I'm just amazed still. It's kind of weird how it all just, it's like some cosmic flow going on, but it's still going on. That makes sense? So the values and things that were so wonderful when I was young. It's like they never stopped.
They
I'm
don't
just
stop.
starting to find them in new ways.
Right, exactly. Exactly. We're still good people, you know.
Mhm.
We don't lie, cheat, and steal. No.
No,
Because
now without guilt.
not without guilt. Right. Now
No,
without
now I
guilt.
can without guilt.
Without guilt. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, I'll say that in my opinion, what it is you don't want to do those things for the sake of humanity, but for some reason, if you happen to do those things, you don't feel like you're going to go to hell.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like
So,
we said, with the values, it's interesting hearing from the male point of view, because in my point of view, it's interesting hearing that there are values involved. Does that make sense? That it's
Yes.
not all about a control or
Right.
it's hearing the values you gained from things. And
Yes.
that's very refreshing for me. I've enjoyed that.
Thank you.
so Gene, are you saying that now, every time you take matters into your own hands, let's say, you don't make an appointment with the bishop and go tell him about it?
No, I don't. And that reminds me, the girlfriend before my wife showed up on the scene was Mormon, and we would kiss while we would babysit at the park her younger siblings.
Oh, nice.
And she would tell me that she would needed to go see the bishop, and I'd say, "You don't need to go see the bishop." She goes, "Well, it's not because of the kissing; it's because of my thoughts."
Oh my goodness.
And
Yeah.
I
That's
did
so sad.
feel I didn't really understand her at the time. I just thought she was being silly. It's like I'm not going to see the bishop but I did want to know what her thoughts are. I wish she would.
I guess I
calm me
was
out.
muted.
What'd you say?
Can you guys hear me?
Now,
Yes.
When I was
Yes.
5, my dad had this huge construction trailer because he was a contractor, and it was parked beside our house. And there's this little neighbor girl. She was 5 too. And so we were both, old enough for the proper consent. We could play underneath that trailer. And one day we found out how to play doctor because I guess one of us had learned that boys and girls were different. So we stripped down and showed each other what we had.
Right.
I don't remember getting necessarily a thrill out of that,
My dad
but I
took
remember
pictures.
how much I enjoyed it.
We have pictures.
Well, I can't hear you. Tim, hello, are you there?
I'm here.
we can hear Tim.
I can't hear Tim. Can you guys hear
That's
Tim?
okay. Yeah. Just pretend you can hear him.
I can't hear any of you.
My dad took pictures of us playing doctor with my friends when we were like 4 or 5, 6. We were out in the backyard. They're in our family album. He used to take pictures of my sister and I when we took baths together. Randy. Turn
And I
on those
remember that
headphones.
it was common for people to have baby pictures that were naked.
Yes.
And I remember going to somebody's house and they were like, "Oh, here's our family pictures. Here's Mary." And she's naked. And I don't know. Maybe just didn't seem right.
Talk amongst yourselves because I can't hear any of you. I don't
can't hear any. Why don't
Maybe,
you go out?
Go out and then come
Go
back
out,
in.
come back in.
Go
Go
out,
out, come back in.
and then come back
Go out,
in.
Come back in.
Or I'll kick Randy out.
Kick him out. Let him come back in.
Oh.
There he is.
Did it?
Oh no, Randy's gone.
Oh no,
Randy, you can't hear now, right?
Can you hear Randy? Now can you hear?
I can't kick you out,
Can you
Randy.
hear me yet? Randy?
He's got those headphones.
So I wonder if you can see Randy go all the way out.
all the way out.
You drive me crazy.
Crazy.
Randy,
Can
go
you-
out and
Go
then come
out.
back in.
Go out all the way.
There, you
All the
finally
way.
did it.
Okay.
Let's see if we come. Although we could almost end the show, but if anybody wants to come in for the after show, I've recently put in
Invited.
the link.
Come in and join us.
Any burning
otherwise-
desires?
Randy should be able to bring himself on now. Can you hear us now, Randy?
Can you hear us now, Randy? Randy,
Can you hear us
can
now?
you hear us?
No,
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
no.
Mr. Linda? That's not hard.
Randy having technical difficulties.
It's those stupid headphones.
Yeah, his new headphones.
Or he's just
$40,000
playing
down the
with us
drain.
now.
That's why I use a cable, Randy. A cable, not Bluetooth.
Hmm.
That's right. You never know what can go wrong.
That's right.
Oh well. What else are values as adults? What are any values as adults, Tim? I mean,
Like
we
I
could say
said,
when we
we're
were kids, the people in a high priest and elders quorum actually had manuals that were meaty. And then
Right.
when we got to be teachers, the manuals were slimmed down
slim down.
and downplayed. What do you call that? Dumbed down
Dumbed down.
and simplified.
Well, everything became
streamlined.
correlated in the early 70s. When everything
Correlation.
became correlated.
Yeah.
You know, it was from 73, 74 to 78 or 79 when they finally got everything together and did the correlated manuals.
Yeah.
I think they had more resources. I mean, I had a marital issue and I got this pamphlet about how to get the bugs out of your marriage, and each bug had a different tool that you could use within your marriage. I think the late 70s and 80s were just the time for that within the church. Or maybe it's just something when you lived outside of Utah. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was
Outside
a
of
mission
Utah.
field Mormon thing.
It was probably was.
It seems like I had so many different resources like that. I mean, I even have some of the pamphlets still, so I'll
Yeah,
have to dig them out. And so
I remember going down to my grandfather's basement and looking at all these manuals they used throughout the years that the church published, sent to. Can you hear us now, Randy?
I can. Yeah.
yay!
It's,
That was
it's your
weird.
Bluetooth isn't working.
Well, I'm not on Bluetooth. I'm wired up.
Oh,
That's
weird.
Oh, wow.
It's ironic that as an adult, the value that I've learned most as a child that carries me through now is that our article of faith, you know, we claim the privilege of worshiping Almighty God according to the dictates of our
Dictates
own
of their own
conscience.
conscience. Let them worship
Allow
how,
all
where,
men the
what they
same
may.
privilege. Let them worship how, where, or what they may.
Yeah.
When they lose sight of that,
Oh, a long
that's a
time
really
ago.
good value.
But they're the true church. Don't you know that? They're the only true church on the face of the earth.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a good one. You know, the glory of God is intelligence is kind of a good
Right.
thing.
Right.
Well, weren't we all taught that's what we take with us is knowledge?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
And
so
Joseph Smith, well, I was given a quote and where he said that there's lots of good books in the world. And you know, you can't know what the good books are unless you go through some of the bad ones too. You have to sample them all, right? But the
Yeah.
church in the last 30 years didn't want you to sample anything.
we
Right.
weren't encouraged to read anything other than scriptures. Any of the books at Deseret or anything you could get, you were highly discouraged.
Really?
It was read your scriptures. That was it. And that's what I
Wow.
remember, the 80s and 90s. It was, you don't need these other books. It's
Wow.
all right there. And that's
Wow.
not the way it is anymore. Got those
Wow.
visions of glory and all that other stuff.
Oh, that junk.
Yeah.
You know, I remember how weird it was to go. I don't know if when you were younger, you ever went to a different church,
Mhm.
but when I was in high school, we went to the church of one of our friends. He invited us all to go. And I just thought that was the weirdest thing in the world to see how people acted and dressed and sang and what they did in a different church.
Yeah. Those
I-
weirdos.
Yeah,
I would
it's like I thought I was sinning by being there.
The church I grew up in, okay, there's a Catholic church and the Catholic school right next door to the Westwood Chapel. All right. So I used to go to mass with my friends, and I had Baptist friends. I used to go to Baptist church with my Baptist friends. I had Jewish friends. I go to synagogue with my Jewish friends and Hebrew school, you know. So I was raised very eclectically and saw.
And my mom didn't go to
Well,
church, but during the weekends I was with her. Of course, I'd go to Mormon church with dad, but the weekends I'd with mom. The Baptist bus would pick me up, and you got treats and prizes if you brought friends. So I'd always
Right.
round up friends
Take them with you.
to go with me. And so, and that was the only
Sit-
place I had non-Mormon friends, because my dad wouldn't allow me to have friends that weren't members. So it was kind of fun. I got to see it in a it was so much more fun to bring a friend and win prizes. I never would have invited them to my actual church. So, but yeah, I
No
loved
fun
it. I
there,
had
yeah.
so many
I
friends of
in-
different religions.
I invited my friends, and one or two of them came, but it wasn't, like, okay, this is your church. Yeah.
I always thought it was awkward to tell them that there's going to come a point in the meeting where they pass trays around and people are going to take pieces of bread and water.
Oh, yeah.
And I know we're supposed to say, don't do that. I always just said you can do it if you want, but it's
Right.
not necessary.
Right.
I
Yeah.
got,
But if you do it, if you don't do it with your right hand, you're going to hell.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't-
left-handed.
Right.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah,
stuff.
right. Exactly. Us
Yeah.
lefties got to stay together.
I don't remember what I was going to say, but it was really interesting. Oh, about
Sorry.
the bread and water.
Oh, yeah.
I took communion for the first time
Yeah, I
about
did too.
4 or 5 years ago here in Spokane. I was at a meeting, I think it's Presbyterian. Do they do communion and stuff too, like the Catholics?
Yeah.
And the people that I was with said, go ahead, take it. And I always wondered what those wafers tasted like.
Yeah.
I went
know.
up and got my wafer, and I declined the wine, not because I had anything against wine, but everybody was drinking out of the same freaking chalice.
Chalice.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
I'm like, no.
Well,
I didn't wanna do
the
that.
priest would wipe it though after everybody did it. They'd wipe
Right. They had a little thing that I didn't trust that.
it. I did. Didn't care. Yeah. Yeah.
The chalice from the palace had the brew that is true. Anybody remembers that movie?
From
Well, then a lot of those churches only do communion once a month. They
Yeah.
don't do it every week. And that
That's
really
right.
threw
Really?
me. I'm like, oh, what do you mean you don't do a sacrament every week?
That's right. Yeah. True.
Well, Randy, how did the show go? Did it fit the bill for a good
You know
positive
what?
start to 2026?
I freaking loved it, Gene. I really
Thank
did.
you.
It was just kind of a fun opportunity to share memories and good times.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as we get older and get a little wiser and we start to calculate things and think about things, we realize that things weren't always truthful as we grew up. But
Right.
they certainly did. My dad used to say, it may not kill you, but what'd you say? Something to the effect that you may not like it, but it's not going to hurt you.
Right.
And, learning to sing the different songs and having the experiences we had, honestly, I wouldn't trade them for the world.
No.
But now I realize, a few more things that has led me on a different path, as we all have.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the experiences that I did have.
Me too. Me too. I grew up with some really good people, really neat people, and they only wanted the best for us. They only wanted
I
the best
developed
for
so
us.
many skills. The
Yeah.
food storage, I can make almost anything without electricity. I making my own marshmallows, you name it. If whatever I needed to learn, I was raised someday I might not have it in a store, so learn how to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's wicked cool. And I wouldn't have done that without the church. Wouldn't have even cared.
Yeah, my mother was in Girl Scouts, and they called her as the young women's camp director. She already knew what to do. It was so funny. It's like, okay. Yeah.
When
I
we
remember-
have a little lull and no one's talking, I can hear wind like.
Oh, that will be me.
Oh,
That's
A
me
okay.
too.
huge, terrible wind going on right now.
I just needed to make sure that I wasn't having a ghostly experience.
No,
So
you weren't
thank
having
you.
a
That
ghost
would be me.
experience.
Okay.
No,
Good.
no, no.
I definitely got to seal that window better in the.
I don't mind the sound at all. I just want to make sure that it's coming from one
It's
of y'all.
real. It's
Yeah, right.
It's very real.
So we experienced good community, good camaraderie with people in our wards. We had a ward family
Yes.
often, right?
And it was like a family. It changed in the 80s from a family to a corporate thing.
Yep.
And I
Yeah,
noticed the
agreed.
shift.
Exactly. The church that we talk about now, those who were raised in the church, they a lot of them aren't aware of the change. They don't comprehend all these changes that's taken place. And they have pleasant memories just like we do. But now they need to take a close look at what's really going on.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I mean,
Well, they don't care. All they care about is the
Yeah.
money and giving the ward so much, $250, what is it, for every member of the ward, and very strict with everything now, where everything back then was more open and easier to get stuff and things being done.
We never paid for
Yeah.
anything.
No.
yeah, it was just,
We paid for
everyone brought
camp. We
their
didn't pay for anything.
the dinners and all that.
That's right. That's right.
And it's another thing, the funeral industry, being in there, I realized the value of someone being a member of the church who doesn't mind having their funeral at an LDS chapel,
Right.
because that's expensive to have it in a funeral home, and the dinner and luncheon afterwards, that's in the tens of thousands of dollars for some of these funerals.
Wow.
I had the
you know,
calling of building coordinator at one time, and so I was the one
Oh.
in charge of making sure
Wow.
if there was a funeral, everything would get preempted that was in the building. And part 2 of the job, the job was I had
It's
to
a
make
job.
sure every member of the ward completed, even infants, children, the talents and treasures form. So you knew their favorite colors,
Yeah.
what they liked, what they didn't like, and
Yeah.
then entered it into the computer.
Huh.
Wow.
It sounds
Now-
creepy now, but I thought it was so cool because I
what
got
does
to
that
know
mean? I don't
everything.
understand what you're saying. What is it that you had to fill out?
I had to make sure every single member of the ward either completed or I completed for them by observing them the talents and treasures form with their favorite colors, what they like to do, their hobbies, their interests. And now I know that's
wow.
how they assign callings
Yep.
was
Interesting.
from the
That's right.
information I gathered.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure the reason I went to Spain on my mission was because I took
Oh.
Spanish in high school and
You
in
think?
college. Yeah. I mean, they
Really?
asked, have you ever taken any class?
Well, I tried to take German in college, but the teacher went nutso. She did. She had a mental breakdown. We were going
Oh,
to
no.
school, and then one day somebody came in. He says, "We're not going to do this class anymore." Why? Well, your teacher has a little mental problem.
Ooh.
She was
yeah.
handing out these cards of saints and stuff to us. She was bringing religion into a public school.
I'd have to say that we have to like honor the mothers in the wards, because that's where the vast
Exactly.
majority of the work that went into
Yes,
things that made the ward work and be a better community.
that's right.
The women in
Yes,
the
the
kitchen
women.
making
Yes.
food.
Yeah.
Amen.
The Relief Society providing meals for people that were sick, or getting ready for funerals and weddings and
Yes.
all those things. Most of the women doing those things, and so the mothers and women of the ward were essential to our good Mormon values and memories, I'd have to say.
Yep,
Absolutely.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and every Mother's Day, I used to love how we would
Yeah.
sing that, "Mother dear, I love you so,
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
happy smiling face," or something like that. And we'd
Yeah.
give them a rose. The church would hand out roses to all the mothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
it would depend on the ward. In California, we got these beautiful necklaces that were about 25 bucks
Oh.
each. When I
Oh,
was
wow.
in Georgia, we got carnations. It kind of all depended on the wealth of the ward, what you got on Mother's Day.
Wow.
We had no wealth in my ward.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we
Wasn't
didn't have
until
to
San
cut 'em out of
Clemente ward I got the good
construction paper.
stuff.
I think
Wow.
Dallas Oaks is going to start passing out pregnancy tests
To the missionaries.
for Mother's Day. Yeah, to the missionaries.
I,
They're
uh,
My
encouraged.
heart.
Just wait till missionaries start dating. They give them permission to date on their mission, and they'll go as couples. Right? They'll be a foursome because they won't dare let them be two. Right?
You know,
Yeah.
I can't remember where I heard it, but right before the show here, I was looking online and I saw something about Dallin Oaks has lowered the age of marriage. Are
Well,
you
that's he
guys?
wants the age to be lower.
He wants the age to be lower.
Oh, you want it hasn't been officially lowered yet?
Well, they
Oh.
lowered the age of missionaries. He wants them to get
Require people
married.
to get married lower.
He
What?
wants them to get married as soon as they get out their mission. He wants them to find a companion on their mission and get married when they get home.
Well, I
That's
guess
what he
my
wants.
question was there a specific age that you were allowed to get married? And or is it just because I'm thinking, wait a minute, I
Okay,
don't remember a rule
go-
of age.
Go listen to Rebecca last night on the newscast. She lays it out that couples that get married younger seem to stay, well, not very young, but like 19, 20, 21. Those marriages seem to last longer than other marriages. So the idea is go on your mission at 18, you come home when you're 20, you'll get married by the time you're 21, and it'll be a strong marriage.
Yeah, so
Wow,
he's promoting it. He's not requiring it for celestial glory yet.
I don't think I have a sister out of my 3 sisters. I think they were all married before 20.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. One was 18, one was
I
19.
proposed to my wife 3 days before her 20th birthday.
Wow.
I was 21.
The
I was
first time
27.
the first time I ever kissed my wife was in the temple when we were married.
Really?
My first
Wow.
time with
Because
my
she wasn't
husband
my
was our
wife
wedding
before
night,
then, Tim.
Oh,
but not my first time.
boo,
Just my first with him.
boo.
I told
Age of
Amanda
consent-
if
I
we
think
ever
the age of consent in Utah is 14. If I
wow.
remember right.
16 in Colorado. They can date anybody, be active with anybody of any age once you're 16.
Wow.
I'll never forget when I was at this youth conference that I was telling you about. I saw this like 20-year-old guy, probably returned missionary with a 13 or 14 12-year-old girl, and I thought that was really strange. Just really
Little
bugged
bit.
me to see that. You know, it
Let's
was
see.
obvious
When I
she
was
grooming her.
26, my fiance was born.
Wow.
Right?
You robbed the cradle,
I sure did.
Randy.
You know, it's a
Randy,
little-
Randy.
It's a little different now. It's not like I started dating her when I was 26. I'm just saying when I was 26, that's when she was born.
Oh,
Now I'm
wow.
old, so you know, she just turned 40, so she's an adult. It's not like I'm a,
Wow.
you know, child.
Right.
Yeah.
We get it. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Anybody got to say?
I appreciate you guys taking this and running with it because I think this was very refreshing.
I like the idea. We need some good news right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Good memories rather than everything that's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We're starting 2026 with a good note. What was last week's show?
New
Resolution.
Year's resolution.
Resolutions. Okay, if anybody has a suggestion for next week's show or what you want to hear, put it in the chat.
it's a good
We'll
idea.
give you a few minutes to put it in the chat. We will take your suggestions. We want to crowdsource this. Okay.
And I'm not proud of this, but my New Year's resolution was to buy no more macadamia nuts in the year of 2026. I lasted 3 days and bought a 2 macadamia nuts. So,
I don't do resolutions because I learned that you can choose your own fiscal year. So
Yeah.
my birthday's the 30th of January. The 31st, I write up what I want for the next year, put it into action. And so my fiscal year hasn't started yet. So I'm just wrapping up my year. Kind of helps with stress.
Okay.
there you go.
Memorable testimony meetings, huh?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
it's
like some
18.
of these.
We could do that. We could do that.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
That would be a good one.
Cool.
Anything else? Come on.
Mm.
What 7 habits? Kinder Kim. You mean
7
Cubby's book
habits.
of effective people?
Stephen
Funniest
Covey.
Stephen Covey. Favorite apostles? Funniest Mormon dating story? Okay, and we would crowdsource that one. We want everybody to participate.
Right?
Favorite TV
General
shows?
conference memories. Anybody camp out waiting to go to general conference?
No.
Nope.
Oh, see, so many things that us
Nope.
mission field Mormons did.
The only time I ever went was right before my mission, April of '73. I went up with my bishop. I stayed in a Travelodge hotel a few blocks from Temple Square. I went to all the sessions. And that's the only time I ever attended all the sessions of General Conference. In fact, when I grew up at home, we never watched it. I barely remember ever watching it or hearing about it. I remember the ensign coming out and stuff, but just
One
wasn't
year
a
I
thing.
videotaped conference because I was going to miss part of it. And I had a 6-hour videotape that I put in. I was the most popular person in my ward because you know what I inadvertently captured? They
What?
played the entire movie of Legacy in between the sessions.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
I had the entire Legacy
Wow.
movie on my VHS.
Nice.
Wow, cool. Okay, Gene, are you writing these down?
LDS
No,
celebrity stories. Oh,
They're
like how many
recorded
of
on
us
the
have ever met
interwebs
the
for
Osmonds?
posterity.
Okay,
Well, that's a good one. I like that.
that's a good one.
Favorite
So-
LDS quotes.
Oh, even better.
Favorite TV shows. We've done movies before, where we probably talked about TV shows, but we maybe
We
didn't
could
have
do
a
movies.
TV
We
show.
could
Maybe
do
more the
TV
TV
shows.
actors.
TV actors.
Favorite Mormon movies.
There's a whole slew of suggestions. So songs, good job on all these
I
ideas.
camped out for Garth Brooks tickets
Really?
while watching the Rodney King riots going on in downtown Denver.
You mean L.A.?
No, Denver.
Really? They had Rodney King
Yes,
riots
they were
in Denver?
breaking windows, and yeah, it was terrible.
Wow.
I was the
I
third
didn't know.
person in line behind the two scalpers, so it was quite adventurous. 4 days
Yeah.
camping for tickets. We don't have do that anymore. See all the fun stuff.
Real, I don't want to
Yeah.
one up you on this, but
Oh no,
I was
do
Garth
please.
Brooks. I was Garth Brooks' bodyguard,
Awesome.
and I got to be on stage when he recorded Rodeo.
Oh, so cool. Oh no,
I
that's
was-
awesome. Cool.
That was a good time.
Wow.
What's the minimum requirement for a slew, Randy, of suggestions?
Let's see.
How many is a slew?
4 or more, 6 or more. The most cringiest Sunday school lesson. Mormon family stories. Don,
Sorry,
I hear bells.
thank you for listening.
thank you all for coming. This has been a
Thank
blast.
you, everybody, for being here. We
yeah.
love it. We got 16 viewers.
Great
Yeah,
suggestions too. Oh my goodness.
I just thought of something like, where were you when something amazing happened, right?
I
Ooh.
could do that. Yeah.
Right.
Like, where were you, Tim, when Christ was resurrected?
I was living in a Bethel outside of Nazareth.
Or where were you when the astronauts landed on the moon?
I was home watching TV.
That's 69. I should
Where
have
were
the
you?
Duluth
Glued
News
to the
Tribune
TV.
paper the day after it landed. I've got the full paper in a frame here.
Cool.
Uh,
Cool.
History
go.
is so cool. The fact we
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
were around for it.
Yes, I know.
yeah, it's funny how you mark where you were, like when the towers came down. Probably
Yeah.
The
everyone
Challenger.
remembers what they were doing or the
Challenger.
Challenger, or
Mhm.
Or the Columbia.
right.
9/11.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Randy, what other TV shows have you been on as something, or
TV shows.
weren't you a security guard in a TV show or something,
I was.
or a movie?
I used to be a regular on a TV show, and in a
Ooh.
movie, it was The People versus Larry Flint. I was just a participant in the movie.
Were you an
Right.
extra?
I was an extra, but I got a full screen shot of me during the movie, which is really rare. But I was helping the crew out with things that they needed, and I was taking care of Larry Flint and what's his name, Woody from
Harrelson.
Cheers,
Mhm.
Woody Harrelson. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
So I got
Challenging.
that was fun.
So
Yeah, I've
is
been
it-
in a few shows,
Is it
TV
ro-
shows.
So was it the rodeo live one? Live video?
What?
that
Where?
you're on?
Yeah, he's up on
1990?
stage.
Yeah.
Yep, that would be right. 1990.
We could try to crowdsource. Tell us how Mormon you were without telling us how Mormon you were.
Right.
It's
You
hard.
won't see me, Tim, because that I had to stay out of the cameras.
Oh, okay.
I was
All right.
I was the guy at the side of the stage, making sure no one
Came on stage.
came on stage or tried something dumb.
All right.
I worked at the Full Throttle Saloon the last season that never aired, the year before it burnt down, and so it'd be interesting
no.
to see that video that never aired.
Randy's thinking of dancing at the Pink Pony Club someday.
Ooh, what you
Right.
gonna wear?
Nothing. That's the thing.
Ah!
I'm thinking of the Palomino Club in Vegas.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Wow.
yeah, I think that's a different wardrobe.
Yeah. yeah, I had the opportunity to see that.
Oh, wow. Cool.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you,
We've got a
everybody.
long year ahead of us.
Thanks, y'all.
Yes.
Mhm.
Everybody
Long year.
watch on Sunday afternoons the Salt Lake Expositor.
Okay.
Yep.
I have
And
a
bring
couple
your
of shows
friends.
that'll be recording pretty soon.
It's good for
Yeah.
watch parties. Invite your friends over, have some popcorn, and
Yes.
or you could make pancakes and crumble up bacon into the batter, and then have them with the butter and syrup.
Right on.
Can you tell
Right
I'm
on.
hungry right now?
What's the link in the chat, Gene? What-
Somebody needs a link again
No. What did you put in the messages?
in our private chat.
Yeah.
It was just the age of consent in Utah.
Okay.
YouTube wouldn't let me post it in the chat. It says the age of consent is 18, but there are exceptions to this. A minor who is 14 or 15 can consent to having sex with a person that is less than 4 years older.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
Hey, songs, if you look it up, The People versus Larry Flint, I want you to let me know when you find me and when you recognize me.
Oh, you're in that?
Well,
Yeah, it's actually during the town hall meeting, but they took me backstage and put sideburns and a mustache on me. So let me know if you recognize me.
Okay. I'll have to find it. I haven't seen that for years. All right.